it's important that we remember that we are all leaders. Yeah, as long as you're doing something, anything, yeah, even if you're in charge of the WhatsApp group, you're a leader. Everything that we are doing is really a reflection of who we are. Okay, so if I'm working in a cafe and there's all sorts of nefarious things that are going on, that's who I am. I enable it, or I have given express permission for it to happen. In classical tradition, one of the descriptions, yeah, of what a good leader is based on 3 things. 1, character. 2, competence. 3, creativity. Do they or don't they have a good character? Let's look at 4 things here. 1, do they have a sense of justice? How much are you paying people? A friend of mine was setting up an NGO. She was getting all this money from the Netherlands to set up the NGO. She gave good salaries, including to the tea lady. Your organization will rise and fall on your sense of injustice. Your family will fall on that sense of justice. So it's to think about things like that. Am I a just person? Sincerely. When we talk about character, we have to ask ourselves about, am I a person who's able to control themselves? Series A funding is very hard to get. And there's this tech firm that actually gotten the Series A funding. But then the guy, of course he's young, tech. The guy at some point was now going out with all the women in the firm. So guess what? The organization is collapsing. It was collapsing because accusations, resignations, it was such a mess. But of course, if a person lacks self-control, what do you think they're going to do? This person cannot die for the team. This is not a leader. Once the leadership is not controlling their appetites, yeah, your appetite for money, your appetite for sex, your appetite for food, if those appetites cannot be controlled, necessarily it's going to affect everything else. Number 3, it's about fortitude, strength of character. Do I have strength of character? But what does strength of character look like? Strength of character means once we are doing the project, we are doing the project. She just passes and says, oh, I hope you people will have finished this by morning, and then goes off and goes to sleep and says, okay, I hope you'll have finished. We are going to have to work the whole night long. At this point, of course, is where you say, yeah, but she's the permanent secretary. You don't expect her. Yes, I do. Actually, I do. She's the permanent secretary. She's the one in charge of this big project. If she's not going to be present, then why will any of us make a point of making sure that the presentation is there? How will I know? Should I, at this point in time, act, not act, and that sort of thing? It's wisdom. And wisdom, you only get it by practicing it. And then learning from the experience, which means that it's really important to reflect. If you don't have a reflection journal, please create one. Have one. Have a reflection journal. At the end of every big moment or every big something, just make notes. They don't have to be big notes, but there are things which your mind is absorbing and thinking, like this didn't go well. Not these kind of people. What could I have done? So I think about it and I'm like, okay, I get it. Maybe next time I can, I don't know, plan earlier, whatever. But there's always something I could have done. Sometimes it's a very, very small something. It's so small, it's only detectable for you. Deep down, as I was speaking, we all know what our weakness is. And this is the point you think, oh, but me, I don't have a problem. Yes, it's okay. You don't have a problem with that, but you have a problem with this. Every single one of us has got one problem, has got something that is, it's just the way you are kind of thing, you know? And that's the thing that's going to make you or break you. If you ever read books by Shakespeare, that's it. You know, you look at a character like Hamlet. Hamlet could not make a decision. He kept thinking and thinking, and then by the time he took action and made a decision, it was too late. So you see why wisdom becomes important. So you're not already wise. No one's like that. Wisdom is about reading the situation and that sort of thing. A competent person knows what the end product should look like. Competence, yes, it makes a difference. If you can't read a spreadsheet and because of your cousin, you get that position, we have a problem as a nation. And so, to be in a position to do something that we are not qualified to do is immoral. You see, with competency, it's about knowing how the thing needs to get done. It's knowing what the end product looks like. But an important aspect is at least we need to know the purpose for which we are doing the thing. Don't forget that. And the last part is creativity. It's not just to know what needs to get done. We need to know how to adapt the situation to getting it done. And then now with creativity, of course, it's critical. Because nothing ever goes according to plan. Life is chaotic, situations are chaotic. And the best kind of person is the one who's creative and knows how to adapt the plan. You see, the novels help to tweak your creativity. It's a funny thing about the mind, the imagination. Yeah, you're doing this and then suddenly something occurs to you. The nation will rise and fall, your department will rise and fall, depending on that spark that the leader has. You know, they walk in and they say, okay, from now on, this is what we're going to be doing. What I'm calling immorality is not living up to our leadership responsibilities. If we're living up to our leadership responsibilities, then we can ultimately say that we are living our values. Living up to our leadership responsibilities, leading a moral life, leading a life of values, is not something that we do occasionally. It's something that we do every single day of our life. Character, competence, creativity. If you're not striving for this, then you're an immoral person, and I'm an immoral person. As long as we are struggling, we are trying, then that's okay. See, there are two ways that we get information, that we learn things. Through experience or through somebody telling us. When you're young, it's like, don't touch that, then they touch. Then, ouch! You know, as you're getting older, you begin to think, okay, let me just hear what they have to say. Now this kind of wisdom that I'm talking about is to be found in books. So choose books that help you to think of another way of looking at the world. In a sense, have I grown? Have I learned one transcendental thing? In other words, have I learned in character? Have I learned in competence? Have I learned creativity? Those three. If at the end of it all, you don't know, then all we were engaged in was gossip. Have you noticed that leadership is about people and life is about people? Now, the more variety of books that you read, the more people and more life experiences we collect. And the more life experiences that we collect, the wiser we are. And that's the beauty of different kinds of books, of the variety. Yeah? And that's the beauty of having books that have stood the test of time.